Welcome back, mamas. Y'all, today we are going to unpack mom guilt. Today we're going to get to the root of mom guilt and what you can do about it, because I want to help you to break out of this cycle of guilt so you can step into the mom that you were meant to be. Okay, so let's get to it. Do you wish you had control of your days, that you had a rhythm, but instead feel overwhelmed, scattered, and like there's never enough time? You're in the right place. I'm Danielle, a recovering workaholic, wife, and stay-at-home mom of 2 girls. I've learned how to reclaim my time and find purpose and freedom so I can be present with my kids and feel like myself again. Here, we embrace where we are, but we don't stay there. So if you're ready to trade the chaos for clarity, the guilt for grace, and the endless to-do list for aligned flow, grab the kiddos a snack and toss in that laundry because I know you're multitasking, and let's do this because your time, your purpose, and you matter. Okay, mamas, so if you listened on Tuesday, I challenged you to write down some things that you feel this mom guilt around. We talked about mom guilt. We unpacked it a little bit. I shared a quote that I thought was really impactful that I think speaks to the heart of what guilt does to us. And it was about how guilt is to the spirit what pain is to the body. And that quote kind of gives you a visual of what it does to our spirit when we are crippled by that guilt, when we are allowing that guilt to control how we're feeling, control how we're living. It controls our emotions. It is something that we are allowing to continue in our lives. And whether we want to hear that or not, we are truly allowing that. And I want to tell you kind of what's underneath this guilt, because there's a fine line between guilt and what I would say is mom guilt, right? What we call mom guilt is actually shame. It's actually this shame that we're living with. It's not really guilt at all, because guilt can have a positive effect. I don't know if you know who Brené Brown is, but she has done so much research around this topic of guilt and shame. She kind of breaks down the difference between the two very simply by saying that guilt is that voice that kind of says, I did something bad, right? Like I've done something bad and I feel guilty about it. Whereas shame, it actually says, I am bad. I am bad. You're actually saying that you are a bad mom or not worthy of this, that, or the other thing because of this guilt that you're feeling. It's actually shame, right? It's actually shame. This mom guilt that we talk about all of the time is actually not guilt at all. It's really shame. And when we start to think about that, we can easily see how that is going to impact our spirit, right? It is going to impact our spirit considerably when we are thinking that we are bad, when we are thinking that we are unworthy, right? We are a bad mom because we don't have a clean house, because we let our kids play on this technology platform or whatever video game, whatever it is, while we are doing this. We let them watch a program while we are doing that. We fly off the handle because we're super overwhelmed and react and yell at them because of this, that, or the other thing. And we think we are bad because of that, not necessarily that you just did something bad, but that you are bad, right? There is a very big distinction between those two. But the mom guilt that we're feeling is not really, I did something bad, like I flew off the handle, or, I let them watch technology, or I had some me time, or I let them eat processed foods, or, whatever it was, I did something bad versus I am a bad mom because of that. I'm feeling this mom guilt because of that. And it is a different feeling. Like I've heard a lot of people talking about this mom guilt in the way that like, other people are making them feel this way. Like it isn't something that we're doing to ourselves. It's something that society is doing to us. And they're the ones causing us to have this mom guilt. And I don't know if I buy into that as much as it's something that we are letting come into our lives. We're letting this take control of us. We are allowing ourselves to be influenced by others. Maybe, yes, right? But I don't know if there's anyone else to blame. I mean, a little bit, I might blame like the fact that materialistic things are, everybody wants the next big thing. And we can always see what this, that, and the other person are doing. And we always are seeing, ads for this and how if you either do this, you will be happy. Or if you don't do this, right, you will be unhappy, right? Like there are all of these things that are out there in yes, society, in our world that we are exposed to all of the time now, but we also have to let that creep in and affect us. And we are in control of that, right? We are in control of what we let in, of what we are doing. So what can we do to keep that stuff at bay? What can we do to get to a point where those types of things aren't making us feel like a bad person? They might make us feel guilty in a positive way, in a way where we want to make some changes in our life, right? That is a positive thing. That's not necessarily bad if we're feeling this, guilt to do or improve our life in some way, shape, or form. What is a bad thing? What is debilitating? What it is that I think most moms are feeling is this: I am bad. I am not worthy. I am being stopped. I am letting it affect my spirit. I am letting it affect my parenting. I am letting it affect everything, that I don't feel good enough. I don't feel worthy enough. I don't feel these things. And what can we do about it? So this is where I want you to first write these things down, right? Like I gave you the homework on Monday, then that's actually the first step to getting over this, to putting this behind you, is listing all of the things that you feel guilty about. It might be something you're not doing, or it might be something that you are doing that you feel this mom guilt about. And go ahead and write everything that you feel guilty about. Like on Tuesday, I told you, write it all down. Don't evaluate it. Just write it down, whatever you think you feel guilty about, because I don't want you to take the time to evaluate whether or not it's guilt or it's shame, right? Is it this mom guilt, this shame, or is it just regular guilt that you're feeling? We will do that in step 2. You will evaluate whether or not it's guilt or it's shame that you're feeling about that thing. Right? So first of all, write it down. Second of all, evaluate what is it. The third thing I want you to do when it comes to that thing, I want you to ask yourself, once you've evaluated it, right? I want you to ask yourself, am I doing my best at that thing, right? Am I doing my best? Or what can I do to create a better feeling about this? So I had a lot of guilt around my house being a mess, right? Was I doing my best with my house being a mess? And if I didn't think that I was, what can I do to create a better feeling about that? So that I can do something to create a better feeling about it. What is it that I can do to create a better feeling about it? Now, if it is something where, you're doing all that you can, in that there are seasons when you aren't going to be able to have your house the way that you would like to have it, right? You're definitely not going to be able to have your house the way that you had it prior to kids. At least I know I never could accomplish that, right? I could never accomplish that. But what I could do was maybe add something to my routine, or, maybe I was just giving up at some point, right? And I had just given up. And so I just quit trying and things were just completely out of hand. Like I could start getting rid of some things, right? There are things that were in my control that I could do better, right? What can you do to create some kind of change or improve the situation? The next thing you can do is to talk to God. You can take it to God, pray about it, right? It truly is a key piece for me of how to get past this feeling of shame and just have it, the guilt creeps in sometimes, but it's never debilitating. It's never this mom guilt or this shame, right? It's never I am bad. It's always I did something bad, right? Or I have let my house slip or whatever, but this doesn't make me a bad mom. Right? And so I want to share a Bible verse with you. And this is 1 John chapter 3, verse 20. And it says, even if we feel guilty, God is greater than our feelings and he knows everything. He knows everything. He knows you. Go to him. Take your prayers to him. Ask him to help you in whatever it is that you are feeling this shame around. Another thing that you can do, and I put this a little bit later in the steps because it's really hard to do sometimes, but you can tell someone else about these feelings that you're having and what you're having them around, right? And this goes back to what Brené Brown says, which is shame cannot survive being spoken. It cannot tolerate having words wrapped around it. What it craves is secrecy, silence, and judgment. If you stay quiet, you stay in a lot of self-judgment. So Brené Brown, that's a quote from her that she says about shame, it cannot survive being spoken. And just you telling someone else that vulnerability allows you to speak it, number one, but it also allows other people to validate that. It allows other people to tell you, like, me too. I have felt that too. It is so freeing when you know that you are not alone. But when you sit there in this shame and it feeds and it grows and this mom guilt grows, it is silence, right? You are sitting in silence. I know I was. It was like a secret that I was feeling like I'm not good enough. And it perpetuated in my head because I was judging myself, thinking I was alone, thinking I was crazy, thinking that this wasn't something that other moms were going through the same way that I was, when in reality, that isn't the truth at all. That is far from the truth. There were pretty much no moms that weren't going through these same feelings. And y'all, I know stay-at-home moms, we have like a whole nother level of mom guilt that we feel like we bear because we've decided to stay at home. But moms who work also feel it might be different, but it is the same level of shame and guilt that they feel as well. It's around different things, and it's all based on what we're telling ourselves. It's all based on how we are allowing this to control our actions, and keeping it to ourselves is just feeding that. It is feeding it. Once you get vulnerable, you can break free from it. And if you do not have like a friend or someone that you can tell some of these things, I want to let you first of all know that you can tell me, like shoot me an email, right? Danielle@prioritizewithpurpose.com. That's my email address. Shoot me an email. Get it all out there. Like I will write you back, I promise. But you can join groups in your area where you're going to find other moms who are feeling these exact same ways when you are willing to put yourself out there. And I know that can be scary, right? But something that I also don't want you to do is start comparing yourself to other moms. Because when we compare ourselves and we aren't speaking it, again, we're doing it in our head and we're judging ourselves by comparing ourselves to someone else and whatever it is you're seeing them do. But people aren't showing you their struggles, right? They're not showing you what's going on behind the scenes. They're not showing you their mom guilt. You're just seeing all their highlight reels, right? You are not seeing the trueness of what they're going through. And so do not make comparisons to anyone else. And the last thing that you can do, and this is so important, and I talk about it all the time, and it's what my course is about, and it's what we do in my coaching, it is we get clear on what it is that is important to you at this stage of your life. What is it that is important to you now? We get clear on that. You are able to prioritize your life. That is the foundation of everything that we do, is prioritizing what is important to us now. It is drowning out the noise of this world and figuring out what it is about you, not who you used to be, but who you are now. What is important to you now? So you can filter all of your decisions, all of the things that you do through that once you have that created, and you can see where you want to go. And we can stop trying to live up to these expectations that we have created for ourselves that are unrealistic. So you can start living guilt-free, the way you are meant to be, guilt-free. We aren't just surviving anymore. We aren't just wishing we were a good mother. We are knowing that we are a good mother. And a good mom can want more for herself, right? That doesn't make you ungrateful. That doesn't make you unworthy of being a good mom. You can want more for yourself and have more for yourself and be an amazing mom without guilt. So I want nothing more for you than that. I would love to help you with that, but I want to leave you with this one last quote. This is from Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it reads kind of like a poem. It says, "Finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense." Ralph Waldo Emerson. You guys, it's so true. Your old nonsense, let's put it away. Let us not live with this mom guilt. And I'm putting that in quotes because it's this shame that we do not need anymore. It is not serving us. It is doing to our spirit what pain does to our body, and we need to cancel it. Okay. And so hopefully I've given you some steps today that can help you kind of walk through that. I would love nothing more than to help you with some coaching, with building that foundation, with figuring out what is important to you and why, which is how we keep that at bay. We keep that mom guilt at bay once we know what is important to us, what we value, what are those things. So please go to prioritizewithpurpose.com, prioritizewithpurpose.com, and sign up for a prioritization clarity call with me where I will help you walk through this. And I will meet you right back here next week. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, Mama. If so, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and then hit share and send this to a mom who needs this in her day. I'll meet you right back here next week. Keep smiling, y'all.